the day, people. Shadow Eater, one angry pagan. Now, this this channel tends to be about UK and European politics. I do comment on stuff like, especially the Ukraine-Russia war. I've spoken about Israel's, genocide in Ukraine. I'll talk every now and again about America and the brain rot going on over there. But a little bit about China. I got put on, so it's mostly European and Britain that I tend to do, but I got put on to something, you know, that I didn't know about, and I thought this is worthy of a deep look video, and I feel like you guys are not gonna like a lot of this. The guy I'm going to be talking about today is not a nice man, and he is soon going to be a leader. He is the president elect of Indonesia, right? Prabowo Subianto. Now, most people will probably never heard of this guy. This guy is evil. This guy's he's I yeah. Well, let's just go into it. Cause otherwise I'm not. So, retired General Prabowo Subianto Jo Jojo Jojo Hunt. I can't get that last word. His last name is ridiculous. Okay, Jojo had Diku Johod Johod. I can't get it. I can do Prabowo Subianto, but the last one is ridiculous. Sorry, I did that. I can't get that last word. He was born 17th of October 1951, so shortly after the Second World War. He's an Indonesian politician, businessman, retired honorary army general, who is the president-elect of Indonesia, currently serving as currently serving as Minister of Defense. He married the late President Suharto's second daughter, Titiek Suharto, in 1983. In 1998, he was discharged from the military and subsequently banned from entering the United States for allegedly committing human rights abuses. And then it starts. So, I just want to talk a little bit first about Suharto. Now, I'm pretty sure there's a decent documentary on biographics about Suharto. Just have a quick look. He's widely regarded as a military dictator by international observers. Suharto led Indonesia as an authoritarian regime from the fall of his predecessor Sukarno, who was also a fucking twat, in 1967 until his resignation in 1998 following a nationwide unrest. His 32-year dictatorship is considered one of the most brutal and corrupt of the 20th century. So, yeah. And Prabowo was involved. Yeah. An attempted coup. So, yeah. the foundations for Indonesia's politics right now isn't great, which is strange considering they apparently have a PR system, which we don't. What? So back to Prabowo. He graduated from the Indonesian Military Academy in 1970 and mostly served in the Special Forces, or what they would call the Kopassus, until he was appointed to lead the Strategic Reserve Command, which they call Kostrad, in 1998. He'd been described as a right-wing nationalist. So there you go. Right-wing nationalist. Now, what's this guy's politics? Jurindra Party. Nationalist right-wing party. Lovely. This is not great. So they got their own Trump. Except this guy's worse because it seems like he's actually killed people. So in early 2008, Prabowo's inner circle established the Gerindra Party. Let's have a look what the Gerindra Party is. Great Indonesia Movement Party. Oh, fucking great. It's like the Brexit Party, but with actual backing. Particularly, by the looks of it, military backing. So, in Indonesian, that says Partai Gerakan Indonesia Raya, better known as the Gerindra Party, is a nationalist right-wing populist political party in India. Since 2019, it has been the third largest party in the House of Representatives, the DPR, with 78 seats. It is led by the former Army General Prabowo Subianto. In 2008, formed in 2008, Gerindra serves as the political vehicle for Prabowo. So, yeah. The party first participated in the 2009 legislative election and secured 26 seats in the DPR. In the presidential election, Prabowo ran as the vice presidential candidate for Megawati Soekarno Putri of PDIP. What's PDIP? Party of Struggle. Oh, okay. So the current the Party of Struggle is or PDIP is what the current president's party is. What's their ideology? So, what's this? Pancasila? Let's have a look. Indonesian nationalism, populism, progressivism, secularism, social liberalism. Oh, okay. So, what's Pancasila? Shall we have a look? I will go back. I will circle back, don't worry. So, Pancasila is like part of the main. So it's the foundational philosophical. I can't word today. Pancasila is the official foundational philosophical theory of Indonesia. The name is made from two words originally derived from Sanskrit: pancha, meaning five, and siya, meaning principles or precepts. It is composed originally of five principles. Number one, Apologies for bad pronunciation, by the way. Ketuanan yang Maha Esa, belief in the one and only God. No. I'm just not delving into that one. No. Kemanusiaan yang adil dan beradab, maybe? So that's number two. Just and civilized humanity. I can agree with that. I think. Depends on how you do it. Persatuan Indonesia, the unity of Indonesia. I can see that, depending on how it's utilized. Number four, kerakyatan yang dipimpin. Oh, hang on. Dipimpin oleh hikmat kebijaksanaan dalam perwakilan, meaning democracy guided by the inner wisdom in the unanimity arising out of deliberations among representatives. Which sounds right to me. That sounds alright to me. If someone said as a reason as to why that doesn't sound alright, let me know. But that sounds alright to me. Number four sounds pretty good. Number five, keadilan sosial bagi seluruh rakyat Indonesia, social justice for all the people of Indonesia. Okay, that last one, definitely. The legal formulation of Pancasila is contained in the fourth paragraph of the preamble of the Constitution of Indonesia. I am not going there. I'm not going that deep. You can fuck off. So, the background of this ideology: in 1942, the Empire of Japan invaded and occupied the Dutch East Indies. Following the setbacks in the Pacific War, the Japanese promised future self-governance for Indonesia, and in September 1943 established the Central Advisory Council in Java, chaired by the pre-war independence activist Sukarno. On the 15th of November 1944, at the fourth session of CAC, Sukarno gave a speech listing 5 guidelines for life for the Indonesian nation. These had been produced by a committee headed by Sukarno and were dubbed the 5 obligations, the Panchadharma. These were: number 1, we together with other nations in Greater East Asia are lifelong allies of Japan. So obviously this was going to be very pro Japan. 1944, sorry. We will establish a nation of free Indonesia with full respect for the service / assistance from Japan, and will remain a member of the co-prosperity sphere. Lovely. If you don't know what that is, that was something that Japan tried instituting. We were in like sort of like what sort of like an Asian EU, but before. Yeah. Anyway, number 3. We will endeavour to advance high morality and our culture. Okay. We will give eternal service to the nation and people with all our strength and devotion to Allah. Is number 4. Okay. So first bit of that, no to the second because I don't believe in Allah, but fair enough. 5th, based on Japanese principle Hakoi Ichu, political slogan meaning the divine right of the Empire of Japan to unify the eight corners of the world. Sounds a bit like ISIS. No. Um. Yeah, that's very. That's bad. That that. There's a lot in that original one that is just awful. But again, it was, you know, being ruled by Japan at the time. So on the 1st of March 1945, the Japanese 16th Army, which was responsible for Java during the Japanese occupation of the Dutch East Indies, announced the establishment of the Investigating Committee for Preparatory Work for Independence, the BPUPK, to work on preparations for independence in the region of the government of this island of Java. Okay, the first section of the BPUPK opened on the 28th of May 1945, and the following day began discussions on the basis of the future independent Indonesia. A number of speakers put forward proposals, and Wiranata Kusama suggested the Panchadana. On the first, so okay, 1st of June, the final day of the first BPUPK session, Indonesian nationalist Sukarno made a speech later to become known as the Birth of Pancasila Address, in which, sorry, if someone can let me know if that's Pancasila or Pancasila, please, in which he outlined 5 principles which he proposed would form the philosophical basis of an independent Indonesia. The original formation, so the first one we read wasn't even the original formation. The original formation was Kebangsaan Indonesia, Indonesian patriotism essentially, inclusion of all people living in Indonesia, internationalism, emphasizing justice and the virtue of humanity. Okay, Mufakat, sorry. So Musyawara Mufakat, meaning deliberative consensus, emphasizing a form of representative democracy in which ethnic dominance is absent and each member of the council possesses equal voting power. Yes. So it's all sounding pretty good so far, apart from the first one. It's very jingoistic. It's one of those things you might be able to put down to a product of its time, but it's something that's coming back. Number 4, Kesejahteraan Sosial, meaning social welfare, premised on the theory of the welfare state and emphasizing popular socialism. Okay. And Ketuanan yang Berkebudayaan, maybe, a divinity that upholds religious freedom, a formulation that could be seen as allowing both monotheism or polytheism, thereby allowing space for all of Indonesia's major religions. That's it. That's a major break. Then they majorly broke with that from, because in the original, the one that talks about God is put into the first, and that says belief in the one and only God. So obviously the last one, if they'd stuck with that, then yeah, okay, but it seems like it didn't. In his speech, Sukarno rejected the Panchadharma as a name, saying that Dharma meant obligation, but that he was proposing principles. He further said that he liked the symbolic meaning of 5, as there are 5 pillars of Islam. Okay, not going into that, but fine. 5 fingers to a hand and 5 senses. 5 toes. He named the principals Panchasea. During the recess between two BPUPK sessions, Committee of 9, Panatia Sembilan, composed of Sukarno, Mohammed Hatta, Mohammed Yamin, Alexander Andreas, Malamis, Ahmad, Swarjo, Ki Hadi Kusumo, Washid Hasim, Ayush Salim, and Abiksuno formulated a preamble to a constitution including Sukarno's philosophy. This became known as the Jakarta Charter. That rolls off the fucking tongue, doesn't it? The order of Sukarno's principles was changed. Lovely. Thus, the fifth sila of theism and freedom of religion became the first sila, and a second sila remained. The original first sila was renumbered as the third sila, and the original third and fourth sila were renumbered as the fourth and fifth. Sukarno accepted this proposition of the other members. Further, the first sila of Jakarta Charter and Preamble of the Constitution of Indonesia, being the first of the original sila of Sukarno, was amended to read. Oh my God! Again, I'm sorry for pronunciation. Ketuhanan dengan kewajiban menjalankan syariat Islam bagi pemeluknya, the one divinity with the obligation for its Muslim adherents to carry out Sharia law. On the 18th of August 1945, the PPKI amended it further by deleting with the obligation for its Muslim adherents to carry out Sharia law, and therefore left the first sila as simply Ketuhanan Yang Maha Esa. Let me know, anyone, if that means that it is like if that really goes against the original religious freedom thing. I take it that takes away from the religious freedom. So yeah, I'm not going to go too far into this, but you're getting where this is coming from, yeah? Like, it's just a very dodgy origins, this Pantagia. And that's, a lot of what's led. Apparently, the political position is centre to centre left. Really? Okay, possibly nominally. I don't know. Yeah, people have to let me know on that. But yeah, I'm not sure what to think of Panchasea, to be honest. But that's the opposition party for that's what the current leader does, and apparently our dude, the guy we're talking about today, probably married the current president's, not the current president's daughter, the guy who did all that, one of the guys who started all that up, he married his daughter. So even though he's on the right wing, I see this as, he's gonna carry that shit over. Yeah, Panchasea, and Panchasea is part of his ideology as well. So yeah, that's really dodgy. The Jirendra Party is Panchasea is its first bit of ideology. Oh dear. So yeah, okay. Now we've had a look at the Jirendra Party a bit, especially their ideology. Let's have a bit more look into Prabhu himself. In the 2009 presidential election, he ran unsuccessfully for the vice presidency as Megawati Sukarnoputri's running mate. He contested the 2014 presidential election and was defeated by Jakarta Governor Joko Widodo, which is the current president, I think, also known as Jokowi, which he initially disputed. He made another unsuccessful run for the presidency in 2019 with Sandiaga Uno as his running mate, with the support of Jirendra. The Prosperous Justice Party is an Islamic political party in Indonesia. So, where do they sit? Right wing. So is conservatism. Yeah, shock. Otherwise known as PKS, the National Mandate Party, otherwise known as PAN. That's going to be the same, isn't it? Oh, they say they're centre to centre right, apparently. Okay. National, but fine. The Democratic Party, centre to centre right, nationalist religious Democratic Party. And the Berkarya Party is an Indonesian political. I wouldn't make a pagan political party. That'd be ridiculous, right? So I find it ridiculous that others would try to make political parties based on the religion. Like, I know religion forms a lot of people's morals and places a lot of their origin in the politics, but like, you don't have to do that. That's ridiculous. Anyway, and the Berkarya Party, an Indonesian political party formed in 2016, formed to channel the political aspirations of former President Suharto's youngest son. Okay. His refusal to accept the result saw his followers stage a protest that sparked deadly riots in Jakarta. However, after a heated contestation, Prabowo Subianto joined the cabinet as Minister of Defence for the 2019 to 2024 period. On 10th of October, Janindra announced Prabowo Subianto as the candidate for the 2024 Indonesian presidential election. On 12th of August 2022, Prabowo announced that he accepted Janindra's nomination to contest the 2004 presidential election. Prabowo declared victory in the election on 14th of February as early unofficial polling showed him with a lead in the first round of voting. On the 20th of March, the General Election Commission certified the results and declared him as the president-elect of Indonesia. Fucking great. So, let's have a look. So, early life. Born in. So, Prabowo's father. So, Prabowo seems to be. His dad was an economist who served under former President Sukarno and Suharto's Minister for Research and Technology. So he's like, Prabowo was groomed to be in government. Sumitro named Prabowo after his own younger brother, who was killed in an incident against the Japanese forces in Lengkong Tangerang during the Indonesian National Revolution. Prabowo's mother died in 2000. Born was Protestant Christian of Minahsan descent, who originated from the Sigar Menghom family in Langawan, North Sulawesi. They were married in Utrecht in the Netherlands. Okay. His brother Hashim is one of the richest men in Indonesia, with assets across the globe from Indonesia to Europe and North America. Lovely. Due to his father's political exile born from differences with President Sukarno in the 1960s in Singapore, Malaysia and Thailand, Switzerland and the United Kingdom, Prabowo and his siblings have a cosmopolitan background. Rich kids. During his high school years, he studied at Victoria Institution in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. Between 1966 and 1968, the family lived in London, where Prabowo attended and graduated from the American School in London. Sorry. Yeah, okay. Sumitro subsequently encouraged his son to attend a military academy. One of Prabowo's role models was the Turkish military figure Ataturk. And if you don't know who Ataturk is, I'm not going to go into him, because otherwise it would make this video even fucking longer. You can go fucking search that, but yeah, great. According to his peers and observers, Prabowo was talented with a passion for stratagems and an appetite for political power. Lovely. Sumitra himself came from an elite background. His father, oh god, was a founder of the country's first state bank and the first leader of Indonesia's Provisional Supreme Advisory Council, and a member of, yeah, he was brilliant. Like, Prabowo was brilliant for this, groomed for this. He's the third generation of a family that has served high positions in Indonesia since its establishment in 1945. So the guy obviously sees himself as superior, which is just fucking lovely. Him and his wife have a son. Did it? Yeah, okay. He lived in Boston before settling in Paris. Yeah, okay. Oh dear. Okay. This is. Oh. Okay. So, military career. Subianto enrolled in the Indonesian military in Magelang in 1970. So, 1976 he served in Kopassus, National Army Special Force, and was assigned as commander of Group 1 Commando Pasukan Sandiuda, or Kopasando, was one of the Indonesian Army's Nanggala Commando units in East Timor, the former Portuguese territory that Indonesia had invaded the previous year. Prabowo, which again, it's not within really the remit of my channel. That you can find out about what Indonesia did to East Timor and Papua. But yeah, it was horrible. Prabowo, then 26 years old, was the youngest Nanggala commander. Prabowo led the mission to capture the vice president of Fretilin, who was the first Prime Minister of East Timor, Nicolau dos Reis Lobato. Guiding Prabowo was Antonio Lobato, Nicolau's younger brother. Oh, lovely. 31st of December 1978, Prabowo's company found and fatally shot Nicolau in the stomach as he was being escorted in Malbise, 50 kilometers south of Dili. It was claimed in 1983 that Prabowo commanded the special forces responsible for the Garas massacres in East Timor. The survivors of these massacres were locked up in a concentration camp guarded by Prabowo's men, where many died of starvation and ill treatment. Here we go. Here we go. Prabowo claimed he was nowhere near the Vikeka district when the massacre happened, and neither the UN nor the government of Timor-Leste have ever proffered charges of human rights violations against him. Jose Manuel Tesoro, writing for Asia Week in 2000, contacted 4 separate non-governmental organizations, including Tapol in London, Solidamor in Jakarta, the Hack Foundation, headquartered in Dili, and the East Timor Action Network, ETAN, in New York, and they could not provide any eyewitness reports, transcripts, or intercepted communications, leaked papers, or anything that could substantiate Prabowo's involvement. Okay, but he commanded their special forces responsible for that. So what? I don't get that. In 1985, Prabowo attended the Advanced Infantry Officers course at Fort Benning in the United States for commando training. In the early 1990s, as the commander of Kopassus Group 3, now Major General Prabowo attempted to crush the East Timorese independence movement by using irregular troops, hooded ninja gangs, as it says here, dressed in black and operating at night, and in main towns and villages, militias trained and directed by Kopassus commanders, human rights abuses rose. This is sick. Again, like, if you go and look, there are documentaries to do with what happened. I think there might be films as well. Seriously, you want to go and look at them. Like, I had a good look, and it was sick. The Army's 1997 campaign was called Operation Eradicate. I was fucking 4. Or less than that. I wasn't quite 4 yet when this happened. Fuck's sake. In 1996, Prabowo led the Mapenduma operation in the mountainous terrain of Papua. Oh, yeah, that's another one. What they did in Papua was also sick. But yeah, the goal of the operation was the release of 11 scientific researchers who had been taken hostage by the OPM, or the Free Papua Movement. The researchers were 5 Indonesians, 4 Britons, 1 Dutchman and his pregnant German wife. 2 of the Indonesian male hostages were killed shortly before the rescue operation. And yes, by the way, I'm reading this on Wikipedia. No, I don't care. Two of the Indonesian male hostages were killed shortly before the rescue operation. The mission involved covert support from the British military attaché and SAS veteran Colonel Ivor Helberg. Following the hostage transfer, Kopassus under Prabowo began a reprisal. Following the hostage transfer, Kopassus under Prabowo, I don't know why I'm getting this. I'm not getting this. Prabowo began a reprisal campaign against villages perceived to support OPM. In one incident at Gaselama village in attacking the villagers with a military helicopter described as a Red Cross helicopter. They didn't even give these people a fucking chance. Oh my god. On the 20th of March 1998, I was 5? No, not quite. I was 4. I would have been 5 at the end of this year. At the end of that year, Prabowo was appointed head of the 27,000 strong army Strategic Reserve Command, or Kostrad, that Suharto commanded in 1965. This guy had a role in the downfall of Suharto. Prabowo urged the commander of the Indonesian National Armed Forces, Wiranto, to let him bring his strategic reserve units from outside Jakarta into the city to help restore order. After the 1998 riots, that was on the first day of the May 1998 riots. Hundreds of men trained by Kopassus, Prabowo's former command, were flown from Dili to Yogyakarta in chartered planes, then on to Jakarta by train. Prabowo publicly urged Indonesians to join him to fight traitors to the nation. Oh, you know where this is heading. On the morning of the 14th of May, Kopassus troops escorted young thugs from Lampung in southern Sumatra into the capital. Sumatra? I'm not sure. Thus, Prabowo was accused of using his contacts in former command to import and create trouble, whilst Wiranto had declined to give Prabowo's current command Kostrad permission to quell the existing trouble, in line with classic Javanese tactic to stir chaos to discredit a rival and slash or seize power. So, yeah, there was a massive flux going on at that time. Troops under Prabowo's command kidnapped and tortured at least 9 democracy activists in the months before the riots. If it wasn't for the fact that Trump was in charge of America and could be again, this guy would be, I would say this guy is more dangerous. One testimony from Andy Arif, from a former detainee, told of being tortured for days in an unidentified location, allegedly a military camp where most of their time was spent blindfolded, while being forced to answer repeated questions, mainly concerning their political activities. The abuse included being punched, terrorized physically and mentally, and given electric shocks. Later in 2009, 2 of the 9 men were candidates for Jarindra Prabowo's political party, and another served as his media advisor. Wow. That's horrid. Wow. Oh crap. By 2024, 6 out of the 9 kidnapped, including Arif, have either worked for Prabowo or backed him for the presidency. Damn, he put the fear of the gods into him. Or fear of Allah, or whatever. Wow. Prabowo was also suspected of organising the kidnappings of another 13 activists, all of whom remain missing. Missing, it says like that, in quotes. between February 97 and May 98. This guy, man, and he's going to be the president of Indonesia. From what I can gather, he's more on board with China than he's with the US. This is not good. Later investigations into the May riots revealed that violence in Jakarta was the result of an internal struggle within the military elite to become Suharto's successor. Many believed that Prabowo, a strategic reserve commander, sought to become his father-in-law's successor and coveted the commander of the armed forces position held by General Wiranto, who was favoured to succeed Suharto, together with Operations Commander for Greater Jakarta, Panglima Komando Operasi Jakarta Raya, Pangkups Jaya Major General Siafri Siam, sorry, Sijam, either that's either Sajafri or Siafri, or and then Sijam Soden or Siam Soden. Anyway, Prabowo aimed to terrorize opponents of the government and show Wiranto was an incompetent leader who could not control disorder. During August and September, fact-finding team interviewed Prabowo, Siafri, and other military commanders regarding their movements during the Jakarta riots. Prabowo asserted that he was unsure of the precise movements of the military forces in the capital and deferred to Siafri. In its final report, the fact-finding team suspected that on the night of 14th of May, Prabowo met with several armed forces and prominent civilian figures at the Kostrad headquarters to discuss the organisation of the violence. However, this was later refuted by several people who attended the meeting, including prominent human rights lawyer Adnan Boyung Nasution and joint fact-finding team leader Bambang Wijojanto. Further testimonies by Prabowo Subianto in the years following the investigation contradicted the team's report and led to skepticism of the team's allegations. Okay. On the 21st of May, Suharto announced his resignation, and B.J. Habibi, I don't know, took over as Habibie, maybe, took over as president. On the afternoon following Habibie's inauguration as president, Prabowo demanded Habibie be put in charge of the army in place of Wiranto. However, Habibie and Wiranto actually dismissed Prabowo from his position as Kostrad commander, and the following day announced that Wiranto's appointment as Minister of Defence and Security, as well as commander of the Indonesian National Army, which resulted in Prabowo's dismissal. There are two versions of how this happened. The first version states that a furious Prabowo went to the presidential palace carrying a gun and a truck with his Costa groups, like Prigozhin did in Russia, and that didn't work. Because he was prevented from entering Habibie's office, he went to Suharto, who instead reprimanded him. Meanwhile, another version states that Prabowo was dismissed from his post because he was suspected of carrying out a coup against Habibie. It is said that after Habibie's inauguration, Wiranto reported there was movement from Kostrad troops appearing around Habibie's residence. Habibie then ordered Prabowo to be dismissed from his post just before sunset that day. However, Prabowo was later visited by Wiranto at his home at the weekend of 23rd or 24th of May, then reassigned to a non-combat role at the Armed Forces Command and General Staff College in Bandung. Oh dear. really. Following an ABRI investigation in August 1998, the Dewan Kehormatan Paravira Officers Council of Honor found Prabowo guilty of misinterpreting orders in the kidnapping of 9 anti-Suharto activists in 98. Prabowo acknowledged the responsibility for the kidnapping of the 9 activists and was discharged from military service in November, and he and Wiranto denied that the discharge was a result of disciplinary action. Oh, of course you did. Of course you did. Oh, I hate this. He then went into voluntary exile in Jordan. He did the candidate thing. Like, yeah, this guy he's awful. People die. A lot of people died. Indonesian Advocacy Service for Justice and Peace, Padma, in the East Nusa Tenggara region, assessed that Prabowo played a major role in the release of Wilfried Soik from the death penalty at the Kota Bharu court in Kelantan, Malaysia. Prabowo appointed Malaysian lawyer Tan Sri Muhammad Siafe to defend Wilfried Soik. Wilfried is a worker from East Nusa Tenggara who was sent illegally. Wilfrieda was sentenced to death for killing her employer Yap Sok Pen on December the 7th, 2010. Okay. Interesting. Apparently, like sending kids abroad, sending Indonesians abroad for education. Yeah, I'm not liking any of this. As Minister of Defence, let's have a look. Foreign policy. First 100 days as the Minister of Defence, Prabowo visited 8 countries to meet the Minister of Defence of Malaysia, Thailand, Turkey, Japan, the Philippines, and France. Okay. Prabowo also made efforts to help state-owned defence enterprises export their products overseas. He succeeded in helping Indonesian aerospace export some aircraft to Senegal and to Thailand. Okay. South China Sea. Following an incident in late 2019 where Chinese vessels violated the Indonesian economic zone of the exclusive economic zone of Indonesia, of the Natuna Islands. Prabowo called for a cautious response, referring to China as a friendly nation. He also ordered the deployment of additional Navy vessels in the region in response to the incident. Okay. Despite the controversy of his inaction in Natuna Island, a poll by Indobarometer on early January showed that Prabowo is the most popular minister in Jokowi's government. Fucking hell. October 2020, Prabowo Subianto visited the United States despite his previous ban from entering the country in his capacity as Minister of Defense after being invited by his US counterpart Mark Esper and a veto was issued for him. Several human rights organizations, including Amnesty, had previously called for the Trump administration. Of course, Trump Trump allowed him. Oh wow. Prabowo succeeded in convincing the United States Congress to approve the sale of the advanced F-15EX Eagle II supersonic fighter aircraft to Indonesia. Lovely. Oh God, the Russia-Ukrainian war. What's he got to say on this then? On the 3rd of June 2023, Prabowo Subianto proposed a multi-point peace plan to end the war between Russia and Ukraine at IISS Shangri-La Dialogue in Singapore. His proposals included the following: immediate cessation of hostilities through ceasefire. Okay. Establishment of demilitarized zones by withdrawing 15 kilometers from their forward positions, and UN referendums on disputed territories. What? And you think that Putin's going to stick to that, do you? Prabowo's proposal was dismissed outright by Ukrainian Defense Oleksiy Reznikov, stating that the proposal was a Russian plan, not an Indonesian plan. The proposal was also criticised by the EU Foreign Policy Josep Borrell, saying that there must be a just peace, not a peace of surrender. This was also criticised by PDIP and Secretary General Hasto Cristianto said that Indonesia does not need a leader who gives advice that deviates from the principle of free and active diplomacy. However, his plan was well received by China. Of course it was, with former Chinese ambassador to the United States, Gui Tiankai, expressing appreciation for Prabowo's efforts while criticising the West for mismanaging their own security situation. Prabowo was later called by Jokowi for clarifications on the peace plan, as Indonesia had officially condemned Russia for the invasion at the UN. Jokowi then clarified that Prabowo's peace plan is okay because it's just a suggestion and an open dialogue and did not officially reflect in that. Oh my God, there's so many people fucking letting this guy get away with shit, including his own fucking president, for fuck's sake. Gaza, Israel, he called out his disappointment with the Western countries who seemed silent when they saw. Okay, he has donated 5 billion rupees of his personal wealth to the Palestinian people. Okay, and joined President Jokowi, Secretary of State Pratikno, Minister of Foreign Affairs Retno Marsudi, and Ambassador to Indonesia from Palestine Zuhair al-Shun, in sending off 51.5 tons of aid delivered by the Indonesian Air Force. He had also communicated with the Egyptian Defense Minister Mohammed Ahmad Zaki to allow the passage of the Indonesian Navy hospital ship KRI Dr. Rajman Wendio Diningrat to dock near El Arish, Sinai, in order to deliver further aid to Palestine. Okay. So, on one hand, his foreign policy ain't great, and on the other hand, at least in terms of this, it is. But then he's Islamic himself, and yeah. Paradise Papers. Fuck's sake. Political gaffes. Let's have a look. On the 18th of September 2017, at a launch of the book of his father on his father's political economic theory, Prabowo made a speech warning Indonesia could break apart in 2030. Okay. In other countries, sorry, in quote marks, in other countries they have made studies where the Republic of Indonesia has been declared no more in 2030, he said. What? A video clip of the speech was posted to Jarindra's official Facebook page on 18th of March 2018 when asked which studies Prabowo was referring to. Jarindra official El Nino Hussein Mohi said Prabowo has read various writings of people that are outside the country, intellectual observers that exist. Name them then. You can also see them online. Name them then. It was subsequently revealed that the studies were actually a 2015 science fiction war novel called Ghost Fleet by American authors August Cole and P.W. Singer. A note by the authors at the start of the book states the following is inspired by real-world trends and technologies, but ultimately is a work of fiction, not prediction. And he's passing this off as studies. Alright then. Bemused by Prabowo citing the book, Singer posted on Twitter, Indonesian opposition leader cites Ghost Fleet and fiery campaign speeches. There have been many unexpected twists and turns from this book experience, but this may take the cake. Oh, the fuck, his price is ridiculous. What the fuck? It's like taking advice. It's like taking directives on how to run a country, or on how to run a government and shit, by watching Starship fucking Troopers. What? 2018, Prabowo was ridiculed after erroneously stating that Haiti, a republic in the Caribbean, is an African country. What? Oh dear. In a speech made on the 23rd of December in 2018 in Solo in central Java, Prabowo said the Indonesian government had driven part of Indonesia's wealth offshore. If this continues to go on, Indonesia will continue to be impoverished. We Indonesians are on par with African impoverished countries such as Rwanda, Haiti, and small islands like Kiribati. Haiti's not in Africa. What? Which we don't even know where it is located. But you don't even know where Haiti is located if you don't know where let alone Kiribati, right? Which is in the fucking Pacific Ocean. Rwanda's in a completely different ocean, mate. What the fuck? Rwanda, Haiti. Which we don't. On the 17th of January 2019, in the first debate between the candidates in Indonesia's 2019 presidential election, Prabowo said some Indonesian governors have higher salaries considering the size of their provinces. He gave the example of Central Java province, which he claims is larger than Malaysia. Local media reports pointed out that Central Java is 32,544.12 square kilometers, while Malaysia is 333,323 square kilometers. What the fuck? You moron. You absolute moron. It is in fact smaller by a factor of like 10, for fuck's sake. After the media reported on the error, Prabowo's campaign team claimed he had actually been referring to the population totals of Malaysia and Central Java. Bollocks, mate. Bollocks. In the central debate, Prabowo claimed that terrorist attacks in Indonesia were caused by poverty and perpetrated by non-Muslims disguised as Muslims sent by other countries and controlled by foreigners. Okay. Media reports refute these claims, pointing out that some Indonesian terrorist bombers were not poor and not manipulated by foreigners. Oh dear. On the 12th of December 2023, Prabowo went viral after his commentary about rival Anies Baswedan on ethics by saying "Dasmu etik," in English, "Hey ethics, your head's ethics." What? Which is considered insulting him in an internal party congress held by Jalinda. His spokesperson later stated it was just a joke. You know what? This guy's a joke. But he's also a very, very dangerous joke. Wow. I'm gonna bring. I can't do it on here at the moment. I need to do better at this. I really do. So, if this is seen, but that's the guy. So I'm gonna bring the down. Oh. That's what he looks like. See that face? That's Indonesia's. That's going to be Indonesia's new president. And as we read through here, he is responsible for some serious shit. Just so you know, like, this is. You don't hear from this part of the world very often. And this is sickening. To my friend who put me onto this, thank you much. I hope this isn't been too bad of a coverage. This is not good. So, you've got Trump in America trying to become president again. I don't think he's going to win, but if he does, Putin, you know, Javier Milei in Argentina, all this shit happening in Europe, China looking more and more at Taiwan, and this guy seems to be pro-China. Oh God, yeah. Let me know what you guys think. This guy's a sick, twisted motherfucker. He comes from a line politically of sick, twisted motherfuckers. Let me know what you guys think. I feel sorry for Indonesia, but I feel sorry for us right now. But I feel sorry for the people of Indonesia. This guy is not good. You know, he seems to be against LGBT stuff. You know, the LGBTQ community. He's against all that. This is bad. Essentially, you know, this is a guy that was that Trump even in like let into the country despite the fact he had a ban. So, yeah. Oh dear. Again, this is a little bit outside my remit usually for my channel, so let me know what you guys think. I'll obviously, if I feel like I need to do something like this, I'll do it, but wow. I don't know, I like more of what I know about Indonesia is more to do with its place in prehistory and in zoology. But yeah, let me know. Like this is horrible. This has been One Angry Pagan Shadow Eater, and this has been my look at Prabowo Subianto. Wow. Yeah. Have a good one, people. Blessed to say.